A sea of faces, etched with anger, fills the Petersburg streets under a sky heavy with snow. The crowd surges, a river of discontent flowing through the heart of Tsarist Russia. Snowflakes fall like silent tears on the faces of the protesters, their breath misting in the cold air. Voices rise in unison, a chorus of defiance against the Tsar echoing off the frozen buildings. Desperation and fury intertwine, fueling the chants that reverberate through the wintry city. Inside the Winter Palace, Tsar Nicholas II sits at a mahogany desk, seemingly untouched by the brewing storm outside. Sunlight floods the room, illuminating dust motes, yet the Tsar's gaze remains fixed on military reports. His brow furrows slightly, a hint of concern flickering across his face amidst aristocratic detachment. Unheard by the Tsar, the faint rumble of discontent grows louder, a distant threat. The massive windows reflect a world on the brink, while the Tsar remains absorbed in his isolated world. Inside Pudilov factory, workers' faces are etched with worry amidst coal dust and simmering anger. Anna stands on a crate, her voice cutting through the factory din with fierce determination. "We can't stand by any longer. We must strike. We must protest." Anna cries out, her eyes ablaze. "Our families are starving, and the Tsar does nothing." Anna's words ignite the workers' smoldering rage. Petersburg streets seethe with chaos. Soldiers and protesters clash in a brutal dance of defiance and despair. The air crackles with gunfire, shouts, and screams, a symphony of revolt echoing through the frozen city. A dense fog of breath and gun smoke hangs heavy, obscuring the grim faces of the revolutionaries. Each breath is a visible testament to the frigid air, mingling with the acrid smell of discharged weapons. The streets become a stage for history, where the fate of a nation hangs precariously in the balance. Inside the State Duma, the air crackles with tension as politicians engage in fierce debate. Their voices echo through the Grand Hall, a symphony of discord and unresolved conflict. Gestures are broad, faces flushed, yet their words seem hollow, disconnected from reality. The weight of a nation's fate hangs heavy, unnoticed in the ornate, echoing chamber. Outside, the people's urgent needs remain unmet, their cries unheard amidst the political storm. Inside the barracks, shadows dance on worried faces under flickering gas lamps, the air heavy with sweat and tobacco. Hushed whispers fill the barracks as soldiers gather, their voices laced with simmering discontent and fear. Each man's face is a canvas of doubt, etched with the grim realities of war in the dim, oppressive light. The stale air hangs thick, a palpable sense of unease permeating the room as they huddle together. Inside Tsar Nicholas II's opulent train car, sunlight illuminates the dust, contrasting with Russia's turmoil. Nicholas reads a telegram, his face etched with worry amidst the luxurious setting. Advisor 1 warns, "Your Majesty, the situation in Petrograd is deteriorating rapidly." Advisor 2 urges, "The people are demanding change. Concessions must be made." A biting wind howls through the crowded Petersburg streets, swirling snow around the feet of desperate protesters. The crowd swells, a sea of faces united by anger, their voices rising in a unified, defiant roar against the Tsar. More people surge into the growing demonstrations, their numbers amplifying the cries for change and justice. Like blood on gray, red flags emerge, bold symbols of rebellion against the oppressive Tsarist regime. The Grand Hall of the Winter Palace is dimly lit, shadows stretching across opulent furnishings. The Tsar's family huddles together, their faces etched with fear and uncertainty. Their eyes dart nervously, expecting danger to appear from any moment. A palpable tension fills the Grand Hall. A sense of impending doom hangs heavy in the air. The State Duma stands proud, a beacon in the February night, where Russia's destiny hangs in the balance. Inside, a provisional government gathers, their faces etched with hope and trepidation. The air vibrates with cautious optimism as a new chapter begins for Russia. Whispers of sweeping reforms promise a new era, echoing through the hall. Each member carries the weight of a nation yearning for change, for peace. A fragile hope ignites, threatening to shatter the shadows of the past. Inside the imperial train, Tsar Nicholas II sits wearily at his desk, the gentle rocking a stark reminder of his fading power. Lamplight dances across his face, highlighting the weight of centuries as he dips his pen into the ink. A moment of hesitation hangs heavy in the air, the fate of a dynasty balanced on the tip of his pen. With a sigh that echoes through the opulent car, he commits his signature to the abdication document. The pen strokes mark the end of an era, the Romanov dynasty's long reign drawing to a close. The train car, once a symbol of imperial might, now bears witness to the quiet collapse of an empire. St. Petersburg's streets erupt in jubilant chaos as news of the Tsar's abdication floods the city. Strangers embrace, their faces radiant with disbelief and elation. A new dawn breaking. A wave of pure, unbridled joy washes over the masses, a symphony of liberation. The air crackles with energy as the weight of oppression lifts, replaced by hope. Voices unite in a thunderous cheer, a collective roar of freedom echoing through the ages. In every smile, a silent promise of a brighter future, a nation reborn in a single moment. The Pudilov factory floor vibrates with suppressed energy, a cauldron of discontent ready to boil over in March 1917. Amidst the towering machinery, Anna, a woman with fiery eyes, rises on a makeshift stage. Steam billows around her, painting the workers' faces with shadows as she prepares to speak. Her voice rings out, a beacon of hope and defiance. We must continue to fight for our rights, for a better future for our children. Anna cries, her words echoing in the vast space. The workers listen, their faces a mixture of determination and weariness, united by Anna's impassioned plea. Opulence fades as the Romanov family faces house arrest, their gilded cage now a stark reminder of lost power. Inside Alexander Palace, shadows lengthen, mirroring the Romanovs' fall from grace. The grand halls echo with a silence, a stark contrast to the family's once vibrant court. March 1917. The Romanovs are confined, their opulent world reduced to the four walls of a palace prison. Once rulers, now prisoners, the Romanov family's fate hangs in the balance within the palace walls. Joyous faces fill St. Petersburg as Vladimir Lenin steps onto Russian soil, a historic return. The crowd surges forward, a sea of hope and anticipation washing over the plaza. Lenin raises a hand, his eyes burning with revolutionary fire, igniting the masses. His voice booms, resonating with fervent conviction. We must ignite the socialist revolution. The cheers echo, a powerful testament to the dawn of a new era, full of promise and peril. Candlelight flickers across the faces of Lenin and his comrades, their expressions intense in the Bolshevik headquarters. Maps of Petrograd are spread across the wooden table, marked with strategic points for the revolution. The air is thick with cigarette smoke and revolutionary fervor, palpable in the cramped room. Lenin gestures emphatically, his eyes burning with conviction as he outlines the daring plan. Inside the barracks, cigarette smoke swirls around weary soldiers in the dim light. A flickering lantern casts long shadows as Bolshevik agitators begin their fervent speech. Comrades, for too long, we have toiled for a Tsar who cares nothing for us. Hope and skepticism flicker across the faces of the listening soldiers, etched by war. The Bolsheviks offer you land, power, a future as masters of your own destiny. The agitators' words hang in the air, promising change amidst the damp wool and smoke. October 1917. St. Petersburg streets are seized by Bolshevik soldiers, the cold wind biting through worn uniforms. Armed men secure bridges and telegraph offices, their faces grim in the dim, flickering light. Gunfire echoes through the night, a stark punctuation to the tense, revolutionary atmosphere. The city trembles under the weight of change as key strategic points fall one by one. Inside the Winter Palace, a chill of fear permeates the opulent halls amidst growing unrest. Tension hangs heavy as the provisional government gathers, their faces etched with worry and desperation. Whispers echo through the palace as they huddle, frantically trying to maintain control. The air is thick with uncertainty as shadows dance across the ornate walls. A storm is brewing outside, mirroring the turmoil within the Winter Palace. The Winter Palace looms, a dark silhouette against the night sky, silent before the storm. A sudden flash from the Aurora battleship pierces the darkness, a harbinger of change. The roar of cannons echoes across the Neva River, a thunderous declaration of revolution. The night sky seems to crackle with the energy of the uprising. A new era dawns, heralded by fire and fury. In the dead of night, Bolshevik soldiers surge towards the Winter Palace, a silent promise of revolution in their determined strides. Shadows dance across the palace walls as they approach, an eerie calm preceding the storm of change. The massive gates loom before them, an emblem of power soon to be seized. Inside, the opulent halls stand eerily quiet, unaware of the impending intrusion. With a surge of raw energy, the soldiers breach the defenses, their footsteps echoing through the silent palace. The revolution has begun, its momentum unstoppable as it sweeps through the heart of the empire. In the Winter Palace, opulence meets the cold reality of revolution. Soldiers storm the hall, rifles raised against the backdrop of imperial grandeur. Bewildered members of the provisional government are seized. Echoes of protest fade into the vast, cold night, swallowed by history. The once lively hall now a scene of stark tension and forced surrender. Amidst the chaos, the palace awaits its new destiny. A biting wind sweeps through St. Petersburg's crowded streets, filled with a revolutionary spirit. Lenin, atop a makeshift platform, passionately addresses the Congress of Soviets. Banners proclaim, "All power to the Soviets." Amidst the fervor of the assembly, soldiers, workers, and peasants unite, their shared hope palpable in the chilly air. Lenin's voice rings out, declaring, "The socialist state is established." Inside the Kremlin, Bolshevik leaders gather around a table, their faces lit by the pale light. Maps of Russia sprawl across the table, a silent testament to the vast land they seek to transform. Cigarette smoke fills the room, a hazy cloud of revolutionary fervor and weary determination. Half-empty glasses of tea stand as symbols of long hours and relentless planning. Though worn, their eyes burn with revolutionary fervor, ready to reshape Russia's destiny. Under a somber November sky, the Russian countryside awakens to revolution, vast and hopeful. Peasants swarm the fields, their weathered faces reflecting liberation as they seize the land. Boundaries vanish as fences fall, fulfilling the Bolshevik promise amid palpable hope. The air vibrates with freedom, the tangible scent of land now owned by those who toil. A vast factory floor pulses with newfound purpose as workers stride with determination, their faces reflecting years of hardship. They seize control of machinery, claiming ownership amidst the industrial grid. The air crackles with revolutionary energy, the Bolshevik promise taking tangible form. Banners declaring peace, land, and bread unfurl, vibrant symbols against the backdrop of toil. In Alexander Palace, shadows flicker, mirroring the quiet anxiety gripping the Romanov family. Grand halls stand in stark contrast to the family's worry, faces etched with unspoken fears. Candlelight dances, casting long shadows, amplifying the palpable tension in the air. The weight of their uncertain future presses down, a heavy burden shared in silence. Each member grapples with the unknown, their expressions reflecting a shared sense of dread. St. Petersburg streets surge with jubilant Bolsheviks. Red flags wave against the snow-clad city in December 1917. Cheers echo off grand buildings, a symphony of revolution in the crisp winter air. In shadowed doorways, opponents gather, their faces etched with concern amidst rising tide. Whispers of resistance weave through dimly lit cafes, a stark contrast to the triumphant red. In the smoky haze of Bolshevik HQ, Lenin's fervent eyes ignite the room, maps spread before him like battle plans. Around the table, Bolshevik leaders, a tapestry of resolve and doubt, absorb Lenin's burning words. "Comrades, we stand at the precipice of a new dawn," Lenin declares, his voice echoing with revolutionary zeal. "A socialist Russia is within our grasp. The weight of Russia's destiny hangs heavy in the air. The Russian countryside lies under a pale sun, vast fields blanketed in white. A biting wind howls across the snow. Figures huddle against the cold, their breath puffing white in the frigid air. The seeds of civil war are sown in the desolate landscape. Anti-Bolshevik forces begin to gather, a small flame in the winter's heart. A sense of foreboding hangs heavy as they organize in the vast, unforgiving expanse. In the grand estate, dust motes dance in weak winter light, a silent witness to the family's looming dispossession. faces etched with disbelief and resentment. They confront the stark reality. Their world is crumbling. The once grand estate now echoes with the silence of a fading era, each room a reminder of what's lost. A dawning fear grips them as the unknown future looms, their noble past offering no solace. In the winter of 1918, a biting wind sweeps through the snow-covered city square, chilling the crowd. A stark gallows stands against the gray sky, a grim silhouette of impending doom. Soldiers stand guard, their rifles glinting as the condemned are led to the platform. Faces pale and drawn, they walk toward their fate, a morbid curiosity hanging heavy in the air. A bare bulb struggles to pierce the gloom, casting stark shadows across the cold, damp prison cell. Dust motes swirl in the stagnant air, heavy with the scent of despair and forgotten dreams. The former government official sits on a thin straw mattress, his face a map of weariness. His eyes are hollow, reflecting the dim light as he stares blankly at the stone wall. Lost in thought, he seems oblivious to the cold and the damp that seeps into his bones. The silence is broken only by the occasional drip of water, a constant reminder of his solitude. Under a pale sun, weary soldiers trudge across a vast, snow-covered field, their breath misting in the frigid air. Grim faces, etched with determination and apprehension, reveal the heavy burden of the impending conflict. Each step is a testament to their resolve as they march towards the distant, ominous front lines. The silence of the snow amplifies the unspoken dread hanging in the air, a prelude to the storm of civil war. In the makeshift hospital, a lone nurse navigates rows of beds under dim lights, her face etched with weary compassion. Wounded soldiers, a mix of Allied and German uniforms, lie in silent suffering, their faces pale against the rough linens. The air hangs heavy with the sharp, sterile scent of antiseptic, a stark contrast to the unseen horrors of war. A low, guttural moan escapes a soldier's lips, a haunting echo of pain that permeates the room. The nurse gently adjusts a bandage, her touch a small act of humanity amid the vast inhumanity of the Great War. Shadows dance on the walls, a somber ballet reflecting the fragile balance between life and death in 1918. Under the harsh sun of June 1918, a village struggles, its heart heavy with unspoken fears. Villagers move like shadows, their faces etched with worry. The air vibrates with tension, a silent scream trapped in the ruins. Each day is a fight for survival. Hope flickers dimly amidst the chaos, a fragile flame threatened by the storm. Flickering candlelight paints the faces of weary refugees in the abandoned church, their shadows dancing with unspoken fear. The air hangs heavy with damp stone and silent prayers as they clutch rosaries, seeking salvation from the war's relentless grip. Each face reflects a story of loss, hope dwindling under the oppressive weight of conflict and uncertainty. Whispers of prayers mingle with the creaks of the ancient church, a sanctuary offering little comfort against the storm outside. In the heart of the church, a shared silence speaks volumes, a collective yearning for peace in a world consumed by war. August 1918. A vast battlefield stretches under a smoke-filled sky, torn by war. Red and white armies clash in a brutal dance of death, their lines blurred by dust and fury. Explosions tear the earth, sending debris skyward as soldiers charge into the fray. The air vibrates with the roar of cannons and the staccato bursts of machine gun fire. Amidst the chaos, individual acts of courage and desperation unfold. The battlefield, a canvas of carnage, echoes with the cries of the fallen. Lenin's office is dimly lit, shadows stretching across scattered papers under a single desk lamp. Gunfire erupts just outside, shattering the window. Lenin ducks for cover. The room fills with the acrid smell of gunpowder. October 1918. A bustling city street. The air is thick with anticipation. Propaganda posters plaster every surface. Bold colors and striking images compete for attention. The Bolshevik cause is promoted. A new era dawns on the horizon. November 1918. A secret meeting cloaked in shadows and smoke. Flickering candlelight reveals grim faces around a scarred table. Anti-Bolshevik conspirators gather, plotting in the dimly lit room, maps and documents scattered, silent witnesses to their dark plans. The air is thick with tension, each breath a conspiracy. A night of secrets, where the fate of nations hangs in the balance. A desolate winter landscape stretches endlessly, a canvas of white under a somber, gray sky. The year is December 1918. The land bears the scars of relentless civil war. Frozen fields lay barren, a silent testament to the ongoing devastation. Smoke rises in the distance, a grim reminder of battles fought and lives lost. The wind whispers tales of sorrow through the skeletal remains of trees. Winter's icy grip tightens, mirroring the cold reality of a nation torn apart. A dim bulb casts long shadows in the cramped apartment, the air heavy with damp and despair. Frost creeps across the window panes, a stark reminder of the bitter January night outside. Rattling coughs echo in the silence, whispers weaving through the oppressive atmosphere. The room feels trapped, a single bare bulb highlighting poverty and desperation in 1919. Against the backdrop of February 1919, refugees struggle across the frozen river. Bundled in worn clothes, they battle the wind. A desperate exodus unfolds. The icy expanse stretches, a treacherous path to an uncertain future. Driven by hope and despair, each step is a testament to their resilience. The howling wind becomes a haunting symphony of survival. Under harsh gaslight, stern commanders gather around a mahogany table, maps and documents scattered before them. Cigarette smoke swirls, a thick haze mirroring the tension of a divided nation. Grim faces reflect the gravity of the Civil War, etched with worry and resolve. Half-empty coffee cups stand as silent witnesses to the long night of strategic planning. The air crackles with unspoken fears, each commander aware of the stakes. Low, urgent voices cut through the haze, plotting the next move in a desperate game. A desolate expanse, the bombed-out city stands as a grim testament to war's destructive power. Skeletal buildings claw at the sky, monuments to a past life now reduced to rubble and ash. Dust and debris blanket the streets, whispering tales of loss and desolation in the empty air. The sun casts long shadows over the ruins, a stark reminder of the city's former glory. In April 1919, the silence of the bombed-out city speaks volumes of a world forever scarred. Flickering candlelight throws long shadows across the bunker's rough walls, illuminating dust motes swirling in the stale air. Survivors huddle together, their faces etched with weariness and loss, seeking warmth and solace in the dimly lit space. Tattered blankets offer meager comfort as their eyes reflect shared trauma and the weight of unimaginable hardship. Whispered voices fill the cramped bunker, sharing stories of loved ones lost and resilience in the face of despair. A vast field stretches under the sun of June 1919, hiding a silent horror beneath its green expanse. The earth is scarred by a raw, gaping wound, a freshly dug mass grave, a testament to unseen tragedy. The air hangs thick and heavy, saturated with the sharp stench of upturned soil and the weight of sorrow. An indefinable scent lingers, a ghostly reminder of the human lives buried within the desolate pit. Silence blankets the field, broken only by the whisper of wind across the grave, a haunting elegy. Sunlight fills Lenin's office, dust motes swirling as he stands resolute at his desk. A picture of determination. He prepares to address the nation, his gaze firm, ready to inspire and lead through turbulent times. His voice rings out, filled with unwavering conviction, promising strength and unity. "We will overcome the challenges and build a socialist future," Lenin declares, his words echoing with hope. The streets of St. Petersburg bustle, a city reborn from revolution's fiery crucible. August sunlight glints off the remnants of a war-torn cityscape. A new Russia rises, forever marked by the ashes of its past. Hope and resilience mingle in the faces of the citizens, forging a new destiny.